Welcome to Word Lab 4, Creating a Newsletter. This lab can be found on WD 4.1. Here you will see a list of our objectives. If you turn the page, you will see our case study, Adventure Travel Tours. On the following page, you'll find our concept preview. Here will be the main 6 concepts that we're going to work on. Concept 1 is word art, 2 office clipboard, 3 newsletter style columns, 4 hyphenation, 5 text box, and 6 the anchor. We're going to start this exercise by opening up one of our files. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. It is WD04 headline, and it should look something like this. We're going to go ahead and type the Adventure Traveler up here at the top, and then we are going to select that, and it tells us to modify the fonts. If we'd like, we can increase our font size, we can adjust our bold or italics, we can give it a color if we'd like. There are even more advanced font effects in here if one were so inclined to use, such as shadow and things of that nature. This is one way that we can modify text. Another way that we can modify text is using word art, which takes us to concept 1, word art on WD 4.8. It tells us to go ahead and select our title here, which I'm going to do, and then to use our clear formatting button. This can be found in your font tab. When I do this, it will turn it back to standard body text. And so now, while it's still selected, I'm going to go to my Insert tab and go to my Word Art button in the text group. Once I click on this, you'll see that there are a number of different types of word arts. Go ahead and choose one that you like. I'm going to choose this one. Once you have chosen it, you can go ahead and click OK. And you'll see that it will pop in for you. You may need to adjust your size a little bit so it reflects the book a little bit more. If you have this problem where one is lining up on top of the other, simply put the enter button right before the word the, and that will space it out properly again. I'm going to continue to shrink mine down just a little bit more. And then it tells us to adjust our text wrapping. And to do this, we need to have our word art selected, and then I'm going to go to the Word Art Tools Format tab at the top, and we'll find Wrap Text in our Arrange group. I'm going to click on that, and it tells to choose top and bottom. So I'm going to choose top and bottom. And then it says to center it between the margins, and I think this is pretty well centered in between the margins. You'll see that it tells us to go ahead and play with the different text effects for these. There are a number of them. Again, you have to use the Word Art Tools Format tab. And you will see that again we have things such as shape fill. If I want to add color to this, I can. I can change the shape outline if I want. I can make it thicker if I want. I could also change the shape. You can see how we can make it do some different and funny things. I'm going to choose one that looks like this. Give mine a little bit of shape as well. There's also shadow effects that we can put in there if we want to give it a richer feel. I'll give mine maybe just a little bit of shadow. Gives it a nice three-dimensional effect. You'll just see there's a lot of different things that you can do with word art, and that's what it's asking you to do here, is be able to use word art. We like to use word art instead of titles very often. It just makes things look better. We're going to go ahead and continue on. Next, we are going to adjust the spacing of our word art title here. We can do this again in our Formats tab, our spacing button. You'll see we have everything from very tight to very loose. And typically the normal is where you want to put it. Tight can give it a closer feel. Loose, just makes it look a little bit looser. So it just wants you to see that you can adjust these things. And we'll go ahead and tighten that up. And you can use it however you want. We are going to select our text here, the Adventure Travel Tours newsletter, and return to our Home tab and go into our font group. Opening up our font group, you'll see you have both a font and an advanced tab. we're going to click on our Advanced tab, and we're going to adjust our spacing here from normal to expanded. And you'll see that we have also a point, and we're going to adjust it to 1.5. And you'll see a little live preview down here of what that'll make it look like. We'll click OK, and what we're doing here is trying to make a little headline for a newsletter, and so we're kind of expanding our lettering up here to make it take up more of the room. After we do that, we are going to click on the line below it with our March 2008 line. I guess my file must be kind of old. I'll update it here to 2012. It's hopefully what yours has. If not, it might be the same one I have here. We are going to then go into our outline option, and this is in our paragraph group, and you'll see it looks like a little box here with a border below it, and we're going to click on the drop down arrow and come all the way down to borders and shading. And what we're going to do here is put in a custom border both above and below our little volume line. And so I'm going to set this to custom, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose a single line. And I'm going to choose a color. Let's go with a blue. You can go with any color you want. And we're going to set it to 1.5 points, make it a little thicker. And I'm going to set that one above. So I'm going to click on this line that goes above the paragraph in the preview area. You'll see it appear there. Then I have to select another one. So I'm going to come back up to my style, and I'm going to change this now to 2 lines. And I'm going to have to reset my color. And I'm going to use the same color, obviously. And this time I'm going to use the 3-point width, that thick one down there. I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to click on the button to go below the paragraph. And you'll see now in our live preview we have 1 line above and 2 lines below. And so I'll click OK, and you'll see that's exactly what I get. I get this little headline here that looks nice. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit. You get a better feel of what the top of the page might look like. Once you have your little headline, it tells us to go ahead and save. And you can save along as you're going. I'm saving at other points, so I'm not going to save at the same point you do. But this is one of the places that says go ahead and save if you'd like. Our next thing here tells us to open up another file, and we're going to leave this file open, so don't close this one. We're going to end up opening, I think, 4 different files by the time this is all done. So I'm going to come up here and go to Open Again, and this time I'm looking for Tanzania Facts. Again, WD04 Tanzania Facts. And I'll open up that one, and you'll see it automatically opens up in a little navigation plane here for me, and I'm going to close that, at least for the moment. And we should come up with a nice little picture here and some facts. And what's going on here, and I like to take a moment to stop, and what the book is telling us to do is use our research tab. And we have, it's in the review tab up here, and we have a little research button. And what this does is allows Microsoft Word to actually jump off into the internet and use a browser, more or less. And I like to always stop my classes, whether they be web-based or in person, and say, look, don't use this option. It's really not a good one, and I'm going to tell you the same thing. If you have access to the internet, go ahead and use Google. You're familiar with it. It's 10 times better than the Word program research internet tool. So we are going to skip this little section here because it's just really not something that's useful for us to do. And you'll see that in your book they have a Tanzania flag picture here. We're just going to leave this picture in. This was the picture from the previous labs. So go ahead and leave that picture in. So what we're doing here more or less is we're just skipping ahead a little bit. And we are going to then open up a couple of more files. And this is now on page 4.23. And so we're going to open up, we're going to go to File, Open Again, and we're going to get Newsletter Articles. And we're going to go back up to File and Open Again. And we're going to get Be an Adventure Traveler. And one more time, we're going to open again and find Costa Rica Adventure. And at the end, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Word documents open. And what we're going to do next is use our Office clipboard and put all of this together.